Hello everyone, welcome to my channel English with Visali. Today we will discuss about first semester BCA General English, Bangalore University, SCP syllabus. In this syllabus, chapter wise, we will discuss first. Uh, Let us know what are the topics are there in this syllabus. Literary components you will be having for 50 marks, and language components you are having 30 marks. So here, first in literary components chapters, The Golden Dream, written by Purnachandra Tejasvi, and Shooting an Elephant, George Orwell. Now I Remain for Myself, Bahinabai Chowdhury. The Bet, Anton Chekhov. Who Can Be Called a Great Man, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. At the railway station, K.S. Narasimha Swami and Cops, Bama. Do Not Go Gentle Into That. Good Night, Dylan Thomas. In total, we are having in literary components 8 chapters. In these 8 chapters, you are having 3 points. Now I remain for myself at the railway station and do not go gentle into that good night. These three are having poems and remaining are lessons. Next, we'll move to language components for 30 marks. First one, data interpretation, bar graph, pie chart, tree diagram, comprehension passages, listening versus hearing, types of listening, giving instructions to do a task and to use a device, giving directions, and articles, prepositions, tenses. This one will come language components 30 marks. Total you are having 80 marks question paper. First, we will discuss about literary components and chapters. So, first lesson Golden Dream by Purnachandra Tejasvi. It's a captivating story about a group of villagers from Karnataka who embark on a challenging and perilous journey in search of gold in the Western Ghats. Second one, Shooting an Elephant by George Orwell. This essay centers around the event of a day when the conflicted emotions manifest themselves and Orwell faces and understands them. On this day, Orwell learns that an elephant has broken its chain and it's undergoing a bout of must passing a hormonal disorder that causes elephants to become uncontrollably violent. The elephant is a rampaging through a bazaar, wrecking a hawk, feeling compelled to do some decent policing. Orwell sets out with a small rifle to see what is happening. He states that he has no intention of killing the elephant. Next chapter, poem Now I Remain for Myself, written by Bahinabai Chaudhary. This poem is an expression of the poet's spiritual journey from grief to liberation. The poem shows how the poet transformed her suffering into an opportunity for self discovery and enlightenment. The verse also shows how the poet embraced the philosophy of Vedanta, which teaches that the true self is identical to Brahman, oneself, the supreme reality. Next, the Bet, Anton Chekhov. This story sets up a seemingly simple bet about the nature and value of life. The banker who believes that the death penalty is more human and moral than life imprisonment argues that experiences, pleasures, and relationships are what make life worth living. A life spent imprisoned, according to him, is thus essentially not a life at all. It is instead a slow, constant death. In contrast, the young lawyer argues that to live anyhow is better than not at all, that being alive in and of itself is better than to die. Impiled in the young lawyer's argument is the belief that if one is physically alive, one can make life worth living regardless of its conditions. Next, who can be called a great man? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. It's an extract from the address Renede Gandhi and Jinha by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on the 101st birth anniversary of Mahadev Govind Renede held on 18th January 1943. In this address, Ambedkar formulates a threefold metric which he calls a test to measure the greatness of supposedly great men. He argues that sincerity, intellect, and the willingness to serve the society in its hours of crisis are the elements that distinguish great men from eminent men. Next, we are having At the Railway Station by K.S. Narasimhaswamy. This poem begins with the usual details of the journey with soothing words echoing the horror of the rumbling sound of the train. The emotion in the mother daughter conversation is beyond words. The relationship between them blossoms along with their mutual attachment. The fear, anxiety, and futility of a new future are intertwined intertwined with the environment of the station. Next one, Cops by Bama. This story deals with the concept of neo untouchability. Pachayamma invited Gomati, the teacher, for her daughter's engagement, but not Chokolingam, though belonged to the caste of Gomati, as he came from Pachayamma's village and the relatives know his caste. Gomati was invited just because she would give some costly gifts at the engagement, and no one knew which caste she belonged. Lesson number 8, Do not go gentle into that good night. Dylan Thomas. In this poem, Thomas appeals to his father not to give in but to struggle against the impending death and obliteration. Though, though at the same time, he admits the inevitability of death. Thomas had great respect for his father for his strength of character and independence of judgment, qualities which suffered because of his illness. The father faced night and darkness, doubly the darkness of blindness and of death. Different people approach death differently, and the poem is written in praise of life and acceptance of death. The poem ends on an ironical note with Thomas urging his father to both bless and curse him. Next, we are having language component. First one, data interpretation, bar graph, pie chart, tree diagram. So here enhances logical power and reasoning thinking of the learners, develop language skills, accurately convey the intended message. Next, we are having comprehension passage. Objectives develops reading skills, identify the main idea of the text, summarize or paraphrase the meaning of the text, prepare for the competitive examination. Next, listening versus hearing. Types of listening. Listening skills. So, what is the difference between listening and hearing? So, we will go through that video also. Next, giving instructions. How to do a task, how to use a device, how to give directions. Next, articles, prepositions, tense. Next, here we are having question paper pattern. So, first you will be having language prose and poetry. From this prose and poetry, you will be having 50 marks. So, you are having 2 marks questions, 5 marks questions, and 10 marks questions. Next, language components all together 30 marks. Comprehension 5 marks, data interpretation 5 marks, listening and vessel hearing 5 marks, giving instructions and giving directions 5 marks, articles and prepositions, tenses, verbs and all you are having 5 marks. Totally you are having 80 marks paper. So this is what all the lessons and all how we are having. So in next video we will be having detailed chapter wise question and answers and summary also you will be having. So thank you.